As more and more time goes on in the career of one LeBron James, one thing has become clear to me that as great as LeBron has been over his 21-year career, that no matter what is said, no matter where you have him ranked, his fan base will not only call you a hater if you don't bow down to the king, they will basically sometimes even say that you don't know basketball. They will always put lofty expectations on him. And then when he fails to deliver, they will make up every excuse when he doesn't meet them. Yep, that's right. This video has little today to do with LeBron and everything to do with his stomach turning fan base. You see, being a fan of a player or a team isn't inherently a bad thing on its face, since that's what makes sports so great. It adds to the enjoyment of watching or attending an event, and it still does to this day in many ways. The problem comes when all objectivity gets thrown out the window, facts and logic don't exist, and then the disrespect for other players and people just to make your player become better is done, and no fan base does that more than LeBron fans, and that's including his media paid talking heads that's plastered all over TV and social media. Let's start with this year and this playoff series against the reigning, defending, undisputed NBA champion Denver Nuggets. The Lakers lost again to the Nuggets, and what was the narrative going into the series? The Nuggets are the favorites and should win the series, but if somehow, some way, the Lakers pulled off the upset and beat them and went on to win the title, then LeBron will certainly be or have a case to be the GOAT. For most LeBron fans, he's already the GOAT in spite the fact that he hasn't accomplished as much as the real GOAT in 21 seasons, but that's simply because winning no longer mattered to these people. Back to the narrative though, if he would have won in year 21 at the advanced, ripe old age of 39, playing the way he had been playing, he would have done something that no one else would have done, and herein lies the problem. On one hand, we are told that he's playing like a top 15 player in the league, heck, even good enough, most likely, potentially, to be selected third team All NBA this year. But then on the other hand, when he loses, we're being told, well, what did you expect? He's 39 years old. The ultimate hedging your bet, having it both ways argument that's been happening with LeBron due to his fans since his last title back in 2020. If he's a top 15 player in the league and is constantly being called the best player on the Lakers, even though every frontal lobe having person can see that that's actually Anthony Davis, then his age shouldn't just matter when he loses. But it makes sense because double speak and double standards are the status quo with his fans. If he had won, it would have added to his legacy, so we're told. But since he lost, well, he wasn't supposed to win anyway because he's old. Oh, and before any of these LeBron fans, which will undoubtedly find this video and comment on this video and say something to the effect of, well, Jordan at this age didn't even make the playoffs. Well, just some facts that I need you all to acknowledge with that claim. Number one, in both of those Wizard years, with their current seating at the time, the Wizards would have made the play-in tournament if it existed back then like it does now, just like the Lakers were able to make it. And number two, can someone out there please in the comments name me the player on those Wizards teams that was just as good as Anthony Davis for the Lakers this year with LeBron? This does, though, lead me to the objectivity and logic or lack thereof. Most fans of a player can acknowledge when their favorite player isn't as good as he used to be. For example, my favorite football team is the Indianapolis Colts. Boring, I know. But when Peyton Manning, my favorite player at the time, was there and eventually ended up with Denver, I could clearly see that he had lost a step after his MVP record breaking season back in 2013. Heck, even while he was playing and the media was trying so hard to make him the greatest quarterback ever playing, I knew that, nah, that was Tom Brady. As a fan, I was able to admit that, but then there's the curious case of the LeBron James fan. In 21 years and at 39 years old, you still have some people saying that he's the best player on the Lakers when he clearly isn't and hasn't been since 2020, and even that's debatable. But yet, and still, most LeBron fans will say he's the best player on the team. On top of that, even with him being the best player on the team, quote unquote, they still give him no blame when they lose. Ever since the NBA came to be back in 1946 and the invention of this thing called the best player and leader of the team came to be, that person normally gets most of, if not all, the credit when the team wins, and then most of, if not all, the blame when they lose, but not LeBron. According to his fans, he gets all the credit and that makes him the GOAT. But when he loses, we need another type of GOAT, the scapegoat. Now, this can be anything or anybody. We've seen it be teammates, we've seen it be the referees, and we've even seen it be the AC going out. It's never his fault with his fans, and I can't really fault y'all much about this because they're just mirroring what he does. After, for example, after game two of this series that ended up as a loss to the Nuggets, when asked what went wrong, LeBron actually brought up how that call on D'Angelo Russell in the third quarter didn't happen. And that lost them the game. It wasn't the turnovers, the empty possessions, late, or the wide open missed shot with 14 seconds left by LeBron. Of course, bringing up any of those facts, though, like this, will cause LeBron's fans to play their go to card that would even put Yugi's Dark Magician to shame, and that's in the disrespect card. When this card is activated, it has many abilities ranging from, but not limited to, insert nonsense Jordan talking point they heard from sports media talking heads like Nick Wrong, to accusing you of being a nut hugging fanboy of Jordan or Kobe or any other insert favorite NBA player here, just projecting all over the place, and even will go as far as to call you out of your social media given name, all in the efforts to defend LeBron. I have a list of worst fan bases on the planet that should be popping up on the screen right about now. But after having lived and been alive for this fan base down through the years, I had to revise my list because his fan base is the worst. Though some of the basketball community will actually miss LeBron when he retires, and I actually enjoy LeBron playing, I know without a shadow of a doubt, though, that the one thing about him that won't be missed are his fans, even though they will continue to help spread his self proclaiming GOAT propaganda case for years to come.